The Mesoamerican fascination with and knowledge of math and astronomy is on full display when examining the details of the megalithic architecture that has been reclaimed from the dense foliage. The Pyramid of Kukulkan is the central pyramid of Chichen Itza. Each of the four sides has 91 steps ascending it, 364 steps total, with the temple topping the pyramid considered an additional step totaling 365, each step representing a day in the calendar. The pyramid's 9 stages, bisected by a staircase on each side, represent the 18 months of the Mayan calendar year. Uxmal, meaning built 3 times in the Mayan language, is one of the best preserved pre-Columbian sites in Mexico. The most recognizable and tallest structure is the Pyramid of the Magician. Coba in Mexico was a large ancient Mayan city that was home to about 50,000 inhabitants at its peak. Coba contains several large temple pyramids. The tallest, the Nahuacmul pyramid, is about 42 meters or 138 feet high, and today only a small portion of the site has been cleared from the jungle and restored by archaeologists. The spectacular Pyramid of the Sun, located at the Teotihuacan complex near Mexico City, Mexico. The magnificent Pyramid of the Moon, as seen from the Pyramid of the Sun. The Teotihuacan Pyramid Complex in central Mexico. And here's the Teotihuacan Pyramid Complex in central Mexico from 18,000 feet up in the air. The Xunantuntic frieze, more than 9 feet high and 30 feet long, features a 3-dimensional figure of a Mayan ruler. This was a thriving city of at least 10,000 inhabitants at one time. The Pyramid of Niches, El Tajín, northern Mexico. Mayan pyramid temples soar above the jungle at Tikal, Guatemala. Calakmul in the Mexican state of Campeche, not far from the Guatemalan border. Now let's turn our attention to Mexico. What does that mean, Mexico or Mexican? The word stems from the Mexica. They were the indigenous people who once ruled the famous Aztec Empire and constructed 2 man-made cities raised literally out of the lake Texcoco around 1200 AD. The Spaniards later built what is now Mexico City on top of them. The Mexica spoke the Nahuatl language. Now, the Nahuatl words Aztecatl, singular, and Azteca, plural, mean people from Aztlán. Aztlán was the legendary ancestral homeland from which the Mexica people were said to have migrated from before arriving in central Mexico. The place Aztlán is mentioned in several ethno-historical sources dating from the colonial period, and each of them give different lists of the different tribal groups, I believe 7 in total, who participated in the migration from Aztlán to central Mexico. But the Mexica, who went on to found the capital city of Tenochtitlan are mentioned in all of the accounts. Historians constantly debate the possible location of Aztlán, and some claim it's purely mythical, while some legends describe Aztlán as a paradise. The Codex Aubin says that the Aztecs were subject to a tyrannical elite called Azteca Chicomostoca. Guided by their priest, the Aztec fled, and on the road, their god forbade them to call themselves Azteca, telling them that they should be known as Mexica. So that is where the nation of Mexico gets its name, and anthropologists use the word Aztec as a way to avoid confusion between modern Mexicans and the pre-Hispanic civilizations. So Aztlán was described by the Mexica themselves as an island that was surrounded by a lake that in their language they refer to as the Lake of the Moon. According to Aztec legends, the Mexica tribe was the last of the 7 that immigrated to their new homeland, the present-day Valley of Mexico. And when they got there, when they were given a sign that they had arrived, all available land had been taken. So they were forced to squat on the edge of Lake Texcoco. It's a very long story, very interesting and entertaining to say the least, but quite long. So I'll wrap it up here with something by the always fascinating Manly P. Hall, honorary 33rd degree Freemason.
Plato refers to the mysterious empire as Atlantis. He probably received this name, or secured it, from Solon, who in turn had received it from the priests of the Egyptian temple at Sais. Now the word Atlantis, or its root, is not Egyptian, and it is not Greek. No one seems to be able to trace the origin of the name. It appears on 2 very important phases of ancient mythology, Atlantis and Atlas. And the root is ATL, Atal. Now if we look to find a language in which that word or that root is permissible or was used, we find we'd have to come to the Western Hemisphere, because Atal was one of the month names of the Mayas. It also has more than just a name significance. Its glyph, or its symbol, is a deluge. This seems then to give us the real basis of our word, that we are dealing with a term that represents a world experience, that various countries were involved in it, that the circumstances were known around the entire planet. In a single night, the great center of Atlantean culture, the last surviving fragment of an ancient order of life, disappeared under the ocean, and according to the Maya calendar, carried with it to death 60 million human beings.
My name is Robert Sepehr. I'm an author, producer, and anthropologist specializing in linguistics, archeology, and paleobiology, or archeogenetics. I'd like to invite you to explore some of these mysteries with me in an attempt to unlock their riddles, which have eluded any serious consideration in mainstream academia. My books are available on Amazon.com. Please read them if you enjoy watching my video presentations. I'd like to thank my subscribers who have donated recently to Atlantean Gardens. That's the nonprofit organization that sponsors my research. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Your comments are always welcome. Feedback is encouraged. And don't forget to share. Thanks. See you next time.